And we'll see what comes through. Just had a few reflections from clients and group and soul tribe, this and that from one's experience. And usually, like when that happens, there's an accumulation of said experiences. And I'm like, well, I am guided to reflect that for the collective. And, it's quite therapeutic for me to get back on and do that. That's why dream journals or, gratitude journals and vlogs and timelines on Facebook and stuff can actually be quite beneficial. Even when like the memories come back up, you come back around to a certain time space or a certain experience within your lifetime, and it's really good to integrate it. There's just a lot of energies going on. There's sirens going in the background. There's people yelling here and there. However, it's quite quiet. I might just share this out quickly. So, just some interesting reflections, and I don't really know how to speak of it other than bring up like certain constructs of mythology or like religion and stuff like that, because it's really the workings of the internal mind and the internal realm, that inner alchemy, that psychonaut type of internal seeker. One's really looked to the external for synchronicities and messages and vibes and this and that, and that's just something that I haven't really been. It's like the opposite direction for me, it seems, because I don't necessarily hold on to external experiences. Like my memory log, vlog, blog, like within, would be from internal experiences. Like I remember the internal experiences throughout lifetime, not the external experiences. I mean, there's some external experiences that are etched into my mind, body, and soul, and they come up for purpose, for healing, for integration, for, remembrance, whatever. However, it's mostly the internal experience throughout lifetime. Hey, Michelle, yay. Yeah, I was just guided to hop on and talk a bit about what's been coming up in the external. That's what I mean. Like sometimes there's a pattern in the external and it keeps happening. And it's of purpose to bring it up, cast it, and clear it. That's what I mean. The external is, at this point, for a lot, is a mere mirage. Like there is a huge disconnection within society to divinity. And that's why like we look to our ancestors and to historical figures in the past, if you will, for awareness. Do you reckon it's the masculine or the feminine within you, Michelle, that's angry? Because what I'm seeing is a lot of people are in dualistic perspective of masculine and feminine again. That's why, it's been coming up here for awareness. But you got to remember, it's only the seventh Hermetic principle. It's only one. There's the law of cause and effect, a law of, singularity, this and that. Like, you got to go through them all. There's even the law of polarity, that everything in the external is polar. So, it's mirrored out double time in the external, and you got to see it, it's on a stick of good to bad, like this polarized gauge within everything in the external, whereas the internal, it really isn't like that when you connect to your soul. Like the true eternal internal being is the soul, and it's infinite. It's not living or vibrating or beingness from a space of duality. It comes from unity awareness. I'm not sure right now, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really experiencing anger. I mean, there's anger. Yeah, I'm not experiencing it. It's like when the feminine has received the anger, they then embody it. Like the energy in motion is then become a body. And I haven't had that experience from any time I can remember recently. Hello there, Rochelle. He's closed off emotionally, so it is causing me anger. Yeah, see, when you say closed off, you're looking at, like, that's your masculine angry. That it's a theme. The masculine is angry right now that the feminine isn't receiving, but the feminine can only receive the infinite light spectrum at this point, not the dualistic knowledge or perception or wisdom, because we receive it from spirit, from divinity. We don't receive it through man like that. If anything, we're the embodiment of it, and the masculine just gifts in unconditionally to that, not from a space of lack. He's closed off emotionally, so it is causing me anger. Yeah, well, is what it is. God wills everything in the moment. If someone is closed off emotionally, that means that they're not being honest to themselves. There's something that they're not receiving from themselves. That's why they can't receive from another being. He's mad that I'm not receiving. Yeah, it's the masculine is angry. The masculine essence, like their active energy, is angry. It's literally the ego illusion, though. Everything dualistic is. It's the ignorance and arrogance within the external reflection. That's where we experience these emotions. It literally is coming from something separate than you, because your truth isn't that. It's not about like everything is spirit, everything is God. It's like beyond that point. There is a space where you can feel content and at ease with your connections. Well, if there's the masculine essence, the projective nature of the divine force within everything is experiencing frustration that it can't gift into, maybe it's not the right giving and receiving. Maybe it's just not meant to be those two people together. And that's what I see, because it's an effortless gifting. You shouldn't be working upstream and continuously attempting to make twin flame mirrors or these types of energetic dance mirrors work, because it's a reflection between you and you. If you're not communicating internally, if you're not doing the internal work, if it's just all like reaching outside for validation outwards through messaging a twin or even just feeding the energy of the dance, like that's all external. It has to be that reflection. You got to be woke enough to see the reflection within and without if you're living in dualistic perspective. So if it's not matching up, it's not the right matchup, you know what I mean? Like, there's just a lot more that is coming. Like, so much awareness is available now to the collective if you just sit in the present moment. And I think there's too much awareness coming through with this 1111 portal, which is, one sec, I didn't realise that. The 1111 portal is today. Interesting. So really clearing intentions, and I'm really connecting to divinity. This is where I'm at. Like, my union is with spirit, with God, with the divine, and not looking for an external interchange of giving and receiving. I'm just not there yet. It's just not whether I'll ever be. Maybe I never will be again. 36 years old, I could live the rest of my life just in communication and in connection with divinity and not have to have an external. That's really where everyone should be, in a space of non-attachment. Like, imagine living the rest of your life alone. Like, that would kill some people. I really wouldn't care, because divinity is so much cooler than man's, made in the image, or they attempt to be in the image, whereas, there is supposedly only one that was the image of the imageless. I haven't seen anyone measure up, resurrect the dead, cast out demons, do all these magical things like walk on water. I don't see anyone doing that. So it's kind of like when you are in unity, whether it's even a different god like Krishna or Odin or something of the sort, there's just no man that will measure up, type of thing. And that's just where a lot of the collective is at. And the masculines experience it too. They, identify with just, say, a goddess or, even just a construct of a divine feminine, an aspect of the divine feminine. And if they don't see the external measure up, then it just doesn't measure up. Like, that's really what twin flames have been doing, which it makes the external and each soul level up, because then there's new inspired ideas adding into the collective pleroma of what a divine, like these men and women need to be in the image of divinity. So it really makes everyone level up in a sense. However, it does get, it turns toxic in the end, because you really just got to give and receive where God is telling you to. If you look at the birds, they are just in total surrender into the eternal moment, and they get feed everywhere they go. They have shelter, even though they don't have homes, they don't store up or anything, they don't store their food. Like, they literally have endless connection with divinity of giving and receiving. Like, and they're so interesting how they communicate to each other, birds as well. Like, I've been observing a lot of birds out in the backyard here. I can probably show you all. So this is out the back, and it just goes bushland for like miles and miles and miles. If you go that way, it's just bushland for miles and miles and miles. For a long time. Yeah, so don't get stuck in the seventh hermetic principle of the law of gender. There's many more cosmic laws, and that's the way energetics work, not necessarily intelligence or consciousness itself. So there's many other different spiritual, religious, like sectors of laws and commandments that really come through, and you can utilize, integrate, and receive them all. If you're non-judgmental, you got no expectations, attachments, or judgments to anything, and you're in a space that truth is beyond belief. I mean, the word lie is in belief. It's loving into energy. It's loving into a certain energetic pattern of a experience, people, place, situation, or thing that is manifested in your reality. Like, everything's quite mathematical, the way that it is expressed. However, it's not just mathematical, it's also spontaneous at the same time. So that's really being in the middle path and seeing that, everything is a fluke, but also very mathematically predestined and designed. And the mind can't really comprehend these polarities and these paradoxes. It really wants to be like, no, there's a reason, rhyme, and cause and effect for like everything. And it's like, yeah, there is, but there also isn't at the same time. So, unless you've had psychedelics to the point of really integrating that, I don't know. There's really just not much hope for some. I'm just seeing a lot of spiritual people just fall off. They're getting stuck in like boxes of ways of perceiving, and they're not opening up to reception to the totality and the wholeness of what divinity actually is. There's no wants or needs in the moment, even if it is perceived that there is. And many can reach that 0 point. Many can reach that middle path and be in a space of non-dualism. It's the whole point. It's unity. I mean, these beings are trying to unify in the external reality, and it's like, you haven't even reached unity and presence with divinity yet. So how do you think you're going to reach it in the external? Like, it's just, there's no cosmic law that even aligns to that being possible. So, had an awful nightmare last night that I killed someone. That's interesting, because someone else had that dream recently. Someone else had a dream they killed someone. Yeah, there's a lot of suppressed energy coming up for clearing, especially because we pick up our ancestral lineage. And if you view it like that, you can see that it's just coming up for clearing, and you can offer it like an empty, selfless vessel, allow the cosmic flow to just flow through you. So It could be a past experience of one of your ancestors. I don't believe in past lifetimes. I believe we're extensions of the consciousness of our parents and our ancestral. So any type of past life that you're tapping into would be, your mums or your grandmas or your great grandmas. That's your only closest thing to past life would be living through your energetic genetics, because consciousness is birthed, each generation, and it's something new. It's not like a past principality. There's no such thing as past. There's no such thing as the past. So how can there be past lives? It is an experience, and it is a true experience, having no past or future, only now. But a lot of the egoic constructs are wanting to live from pains of the past or pleasures of the past, which brews insecurities and attachments to the future. And you have to be in the present moment. You have to receive that divinity is speaking to you in the present moment, so you can actually be in a space of aligning to that which you desire, that which you want. That's that is in your vibrational escrow, that which is in alignment, within the bundle of gifts that divinity wants to downpour upon you. So, because you can see people's vibrational escrows, you can see people's gifts that are wanting to be bestowed upon them, that divinity is intending upon them. And a lot of the time the soul is, closed up due to depression or anxiety or, some type of shadow work or wound that is being integrated. And when that wound is integrated, the being really opens up to the awareness and, starts receiving the messages again. Like, it's obviousness. When you're in those moments of depression and inwards expression, and you might be bored and like, oh, life is like really shit, you've got to find excitement to research spiritually, because you'll get stuck in, nihilism or something of the sort. Like, especially when you've been on the spiritual journey for a while, like, there's only so much knowledge and wisdom. It's finite in the finite reality. So, once you've done a lot of research in the external, it's like, oh, there's not really much research to do. You will find something that you're being guided to go deeper into, or something to look into again. It's coming back around. There will be something that is there to gift you awareness. It's just a lot of you'll look into the external reality for that clarification. So the only way you're going to find the clarification is if you pick up some type of, spiritual research and you look in those dimensions. Otherwise, if you just keep observing your reality without being that co-creator, you'll just find you just align to what you think about. So if you're not having very good thoughts, you'll just think about and align to shitty ass experiences. Well, I'm not going to stay on very long because I'm going to go do a meditation and probably go for a bushwalk. I wasn't really guided to speak into the external of, what I've been witnessing, because it's kind of already just manifesting out. Nothing really is sticking or holding. Just been going through each moment as it is. There's just some reflections. I don't really want to bring up the masculine and feminine perspective either, because a lot of people are getting attached to that. So that's why I was guided to speak about non-dualism, really. The law of gender is dual. So every law is a dualistic thing. It's saying, don't do this, so just did this. Or this is how this works, so this and this and this. And a lot of the time you just have to surrender everything. All the baggages and all the books that you've got in your hands, you just have to drop them down and empty out the vessel, so then divinity gives you the truth. But I'm going to go enjoy. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, you just got to drop the dualistic ways, like this is bad and this is good, this happened because of this and this. It just, none of it is real. Like, it's all stories. They're all theoretical imaginations, really, in duality, and you might as well imagine something infinite rather than, like, imagine a miracle rather than, if you're gonna think about it, you know, you might as well be thinking really positive things. But you cannot think. It really isn't worth clinging to anything, because as, like, annoying as it is, I'm just going to be honest, if you ever have had like ayahuasca or DMT or even magic mushrooms or like ketamine or something of the sort, like, it shows you when that's just dropping your ego, right? Because you've had that much drugs. Like, it's the only finger pointing, because I can talk about having natural experiences all day long. You know, it's really those experiences that y'all have experienced with, like, maybe smoking weed or maybe diddle-a-do. Like, there doesn't seem to be that much remembrance on the natural experiences. That's why I'm saying, like, we hold on to, you know, the internal experience rather than the external experience. But, like, sometimes the memories are just remembering things. I was just talking about mushrooms earlier. Yeah, it's just like, it literally shows you that like, in one dimension, nothing matters. Like, of course, everything is purposeful, and God is continuously gifting into these purposeful moments with, like, more than you could even imagine. But at the other spectrum, like, there's a realm that is beyond life or death. And it doesn't matter because you can't die there. Like, it's eternal. So there's not these fears and these constructs and this lack and consciousness of something is missing right now. Like, it's total bliss within the moment that everything is fulfilled. And that's your true being. That's your true essence. Yay, I'm glad that we're connected. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off and sort out what's going on for dinner because it's getting a little bit late, but I'll talk to you all soon. If you'd like to book a reading, just message me on Facebook or Instagram or something of the sort. I'm doing Twin Flame Channel Read still, amongst other services, but just let me know. We could do a phone session or something of the sort. Namaste. Amen.